Look at a map of the Pacific, and you'll find the marine biodiversity capital of the world scattered across over 7,000 individual landmasses. When you have an archipelago this vast, geography is a physical barrier. You are dealing with thousands of islands separated by deep ocean trenches and narrow straits. Add to that its position right on the Pacific Ring of Fire. The terrain is actively shaped by over 20 active volcanoes, making overland travel steep, winding, and completely unpredictable. Standard planning breaks down here. Cramming a generic top 10 list into 14 days burns half your time on ferries. Geography forces a choice: stay in green zones for comfortable transit, or push to isolated blue dots for remote ecosystems. Trying to execute both on the same trip will quickly exhaust your budget and patience, leaving you stranded in terminal waiting rooms. To build an itinerary that actually works, you need to ignore popularity rankings. Instead, you have to categorize these islands strictly by your specific traveler profile. This chart maps destinations by effort versus reward. For surfers and divers looking for pristine environments, you operate in the far upper right quadrant. Tubataha Reef comes with heavy logistical costs, strictly accessible via liveaboard boats during a brief summer window. The trade-off for that tight window is diving a UNESCO-protected atoll holding 40% of the world's known coral fish species, alongside giant manta rays. If you want the legendary surf breaks of Siargao or the deep-sea ecosystems of Malapascua, you have to accept the transit friction. You are navigating puddle jumper flights and secondary ferries far away from any major international hubs. But enduring that multi-leg journey to an island of just 2 square kilometers buys you something rare: guaranteed daily encounters with elusive thresher sharks. Advanced divers tolerate similar friction heading into remote bays in Quran. The reward is navigating limestone cliffs to dive intact, sunken World War II shipwrecks. Securing these specific encounters requires giving up itinerary flexibility. You commit your travel days strictly to the pursuit of the dive or the wave, leaving almost no room for general sightseeing. Here is a comparison table evaluating Boracay, Palawan, and Cebu. If you are time poor and need immediate relaxation, your primary metric is transit ease. Notice Boracay and Cebu score maximum points for accessibility, bypassing multi-day commutes. Boracay offsets high visitor volume through strict environmental management. The island underwent ecological restoration, enforcing rules that keep its 4 kilometers of white sand pristine. Cebu offers a different efficiency. You have 500 years of colonial history, starting with Magellan's arrival in 1521, located right alongside modern resorts. This contrasts heavily with Palawan's El Nido. The limestone lagoons are striking, but you are locked into rigid boat tour routes that limit your ability to explore at your own pace. These hubs also offer a massive logistical advantage if you travel during the Burr month, September to January, when unpredictable weather frequently shuts down smaller transit routes. Choosing these central islands means trading pure isolation for reliability. You guarantee your limited vacation days are actually spent on the beach rather than commuting. If your priority is history, you have to turn away from the coast and head straight into the rugged interior of northern Luzon. Reaching these ancient cultural sites requires completely different inputs. You trade your beach gear for hiking stamina and your short flights for winding, multi-hour bus rides deep into the Cordillera Mountains. The payoff is the Banaue rice terraces. Curved this system directly into mountain rock 2 millennia ago, maintaining perfect contour lines stretching miles. That same extreme geographical isolation preserved mystical practices in Sagada, where ancient wooden coffins remain suspended directly on the sheer limestone cliff faces. If you take the coastal drive down the western side of Luzon, you find Vigan. It is a fully intact colonial trading settlement, with cobblestone streets displaying a distinct blend of Spanish and Asian building techniques. History in these regions is heavily dictated by the volatile terrain itself, constantly reshaped by powerful forces like the eruptions of Mount Man. To explore this heritage, you must abandon the classic island-hopping fantasy. You are investing your time and physical endurance purely into historical immersion. This flowchart brings us back to the ultimate rule: do not combine deep-sea diving, mountains, and beach resorts into one trip. First-time visitors, prioritize the relax branch and stick to Boracay. Advanced divers accept high transit friction on the second path for Tubataha. History buffs take the final branch, base in Manila, and push north to Vigan. Manila is dense and chaotic, but it is the mandatory anchor point to access these northern historical journeys and 16th century stone fortresses. Moving through the capital introduces you to history. Public transit relies heavily on jeepneys, built from modified American military vehicles abandoned after World War II. To trace the massive naval battles of that war, dedicate your transit specifically to Leyte Gulf to understand the historical significance of these islands. The biggest mistake you can make here is giving in to the fear of missing out. You cannot see everything, and trying to will ruin the things you do see. The Philippines always rewards a strict geographical focus. Pick your priority, accept the logistical trade-offs that come with it, and invest your schedule entirely into that one specific experience.